tell I put some soul in that one. What up, y'all? It's your boy, the one and only A Switch, aka the Komaki Tiger Dropper, aka the undisputed, uncontested, undefeated social distancing champion. AKA fuck your life. Bing bong. Oh, that is so fucking funny to me. AKA the overseer of Orange Chicken. Bringing you yet another episode of Switches Sites. For those that don't know, Switches Sites podcast is a solo video game podcast where I talk about just that. And today's date is December 2nd, 2021. Hey, it's December. You'd already know who coming. He'll see you if you sleeping. He'll know if you've been awake. Something, be good for goodness sake. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Hey, it's the ultimate test this month. Find out whether you've been naughty or nice. Get you some nice little coal. Get you a wonderful, splendiferous gift. Well, if you celebrate that specifically, if you are, of course, this is the this is the time of year where there's many different creeds and religions that are celebrated. Which, hey, whichever one you celebrate it. Celebrate it. What are you doing? So yeah, last month of 2021, kind of crazy when you, I guess, put it into perspective, but it's crazy, man. It is crazy. I guess it's starting to hit me now. It's like, damn, really about to be another year. Well, more or less wasted for this obvious thing. Oh yeah, I forgot. Speaking of, should have like a sound bite for this. Bing bong. No, that's horrible. Omicron, yet a new variant. Of course, of all places in the U.S., it wants to pop its head up first is California. So at least from the brief knowledge that we know, basically Omicron is a new variant. He was done fighting Optimus Prime, so had to come to the real world, show us what's up. But a new variant we don't know about that. Just our luck may just be as deadlier than the what do you even call it? Vanilla COVID, I guess. I don't vanilla COVID. That's weird. Yeah. Oh no, that's what you got. You just got the vanilla COVID. This Omicron though, that's something fierce. You better watch out. So that's fun. Seeing memes on Twitter regarding people are ignorant, man. I ain't gonna lie, but they got this damn Omarion variant. I'm just in my head that just instantly make me envisioning like somebody that looks like Omarion, but like if you mix somebody the creatures from Osmosis Jones and made him into the form factor of Omarion, the performer, dancer, dude formerly from B2K, I believe, And uh, and you know, how he be dancing to touch that recent new viral video that came out recently of him. So just when we coming up, just getting brought back right back down. So that's fun. Happy New Year. So that's been interesting. At least that's all I could think of, at least in the real world. But at least in regards to the show for this week. Pretty interesting one. Also hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving break. Oh boy. I got me some serious game time in, and I'm totally fine with that, which we'll talk about later. Yeah. So, you know what? Without further ado, let's stop the dilly-dally and get right into it. First topic of discussion. Resident Evil 4 Remake, the game that they're remaking, skipping Code Veronica, right? Technically it hasn't been confirmed as of yet, but it seems to be all but true at this point. But some very suspicious material was leaked this past week regarding the concept art for it. Basically, it shows Wesker, who, has been definitely synonymous with the Resident Evil series, like, well, for obvious reasons to not spoil anything, but at least specifically in regards to 4, he doesn't make... His role is very minor, but at least according to this concept art, I don't know, it seems to just generally, at least for me, just off the bat, suggest that he's probably maybe going to have a bigger role in the series. But they basically showed some concept art. This was apparently leaked by, and take this with a huge grain of salt, DC Douglas, who's pretty much the most common voice actor with for Wesker. I think he's pretty much been Wesker's voice actor throughout pretty much majority of the games. So I mean, I at least it's safe to say he's generally the Wesker's voice actor. I mean, I think that's safe to say, but apparently he leaked this according to this leak. I think it originally came from 4chan, who, that site is very questionable. I mean, it does seem to be legit. I mean, but again, grain of salt, but it's kind of messed up that this was screenshot. At least I'm definitely not showing this, but in terms of the screenshot itself, of course, if you Google it, you'll very much easily find it. It shows Wesker with very similar to the design of, I believe, Sebastian Castillos, from the Evil Within franchise, which is, ironically from the guy who made Resident Evil 4 originally. He looks very similar. He's got the button-up vest. He got the suit. And don't even get me started. He got the damn... he got the police holsters. He got the police holster. So, he ready for something to pop off. I'm just saying. He ready for business and pleasure. You know what I mean? I guess pleasure in killing people, or, fighting. I don't know. So at least it looks like this is via Facebook Messenger, which is kind of, I don't know, of all the places you would like leak information, Facebook Messenger, I don't know. That seems a little bit sus, but I mean, at least in the screen cap of the message, it has right before he shares it, he's like, again, do not share, I could get sued. And I'm like, what? At least if I was somebody to, first off, if I'm somebody to say that say that in the first place, I feel like you probably shouldn't trust said person that you're going to share this with. If you have to say that, I think it should be implied. But I don't know. That's just that's a little sus as well in terms of that. So again, technically could be legit, and that's pretty much the only reason why I did think this was worth talking about a bit. But yeah, and it's, I guess, weird the motive of the person doing this. So I guess technically I can only really see the only context of this happening is maybe because probably very previously before this game, maybe this is probably way before it's in its development process now, but I'm guessing maybe they were at least originally going to work with DC Douglas, and then maybe some way, shape, or form had some change of heart or something, and then maybe out of spite, he probably just released this or leaked it to somebody that at least obviously it's hard to say trust in terms of do not share right before sending it. So, but then again, it's like all these infamous leakers and stuff, journalists that always get the exclusive deets or tips, like Jason Schreier, Jeff Grubb, and it was like of course the buttloads of reputable leakers, like within Resetera and stuff. So it is weird. I feel like maybe potentially somebody had, I think maybe the issue that somebody had with DC Douglas, because I know he's done some questionable stuff in the past, that maybe just from that angle, maybe somebody betrayed his trust, and maybe he was like a trusted source to, source some of these at least Resident Evil leaks or whatever out. But I don't know. But I mean, at least specifically going towards the art, it does look legit. And it shows like, I believe is who is DC Douglas, like posing with the holster, of the police handgun holster that all the cops wear. I guess I'm pretty sure there's a more specific term, but at least that's the only term that could come to my mind at the moment. So, there you go. I'm still salty that we are getting this over Code Veronica, probably one of the most deserving games that needs to be remade so far. But no, let's remake Resident Evil 4. We just released the VR version that's technically kind of, when you think about it, remade in a lot of ways in terms of up-res visuals and textures and objects. But I guess that's not enough for Capcom. Like, how can we get more money but not necessarily increase goodwill? Let's just release remake Resident Evil 4. Why don't we do that? But what? I guess I digress. I mean, I must still play it. I've said it. I'm complaining about it now, but best believe day one, I'm definitely for sure gonna play it. That's obligation, but that's not out of pure desire. I would rather be playing Code Veronica before this, but what can you do? What can you even do? What can you even do? What can you even do about it? Moving on. Keeping that Resident Evil train leaked Resident Evil leak train going.
Choo choo.
You know what? I'm gonna keep it. That's fine. That's fine. I'll raise my voice up a little bit. It's not intentional, but you know what? It's okay. So, I guess technically also a train of disappointment as well.
Choo choo.
had to match the energy. So there was a Resident Evil 3 leaked document in regards to the marketing for the game. This apparently was released amongst the huge what was it? Capcom leak or data leak or whatever. This was like a couple years ago, where there was a huge massive leak of all Capcom data, like a planned roadmap of or a list of games that were at least set to come out, a whole span of like 10 or so years, I think, like that. So huge ass leak that at least since then has technically died down, but at least this was posted on 4chan, but I mean, not taken away from the credibility of it because this actually was leaked previously, but just kind of being brought back up to the surface. Specifically, the roadmap for marketing for Resident Evil 3, which at least I wasn't aware of as somebody who's not been on that side, but I just found it interesting in terms of some of the aspects that at least heavily implied, at the very least, that they knew of the game's obvious big downside, which is the game's immensely short length, and the whole shoveling it in with RE resistance, which they let me contain myself. They had the nerve, they had the audacity, they had the gumption to call this game Outbreakers. Just disrespect Resident Evil Outbreak's name. They lucky. They lucky. I would have been at Capcom's door. Like, I wasn't gonna do nothing. I was just gonna stand there. Stand there, be mean. I mean, I might do something. I don't know, depending on where I'm at. But yeah. So basically, Outbreakers, aka RE Resistance, at least as we know it now, currently, was presented in terms of yeah. Oh, this is interesting. In the note, to reduce negative buzz, players must understand that this is different from Outbreak. Oh, I missed this. Whew. Well, yeah, they're good to prepare their marketing for that. They're really good to prepare that. Since there is no need for scenario, there is possibility that some of this is broken. There is a possibility that players might satisfy with only a single map. We must operate carefully when releasing CBT, OBT, and demo. Build awareness as a single game title, not an extra mini game. Yeah, man. So That's interesting. And then they have like a visual map, at least in terms of some things that they were planning, like in terms of the cadence of Resident Evil 3 itself. It was apparently going to start in Jill's apartment, which is pretty much what happened. Police station, hospital, or no, Jill's apartment, uptown, police station, downtown, which I think was kind of cut, either cut or very much truncated. Hospital, underground lab. So didn't even have clock tower, wasn't even thought of, wasn't even considered, not even the Raccoon City Zoo. Just it hurts. It hurts a lot. So yeah. And then somewhere on here they like literally, well, yeah, in this chart, the same chart, they calculated the time to be like 5 hours. So they knew straight up it was going to be short and just went with it. So I guess that's the biggest thing that struck me of this article, was that, you know, they knew from the get-go, off the bat, off rip, that this was going to be just short and not desirable. But I mean, you know what I mean? It's just not the remake we were hoping it would be. Which really just hurts, you know? It's painful. It really is. But yeah. I guess here's another interesting fact as well. Well, quote unquote fact, but yeah, this is definitely what struck me a lot, was that it's they had in their roadmap was a fake leak will antagonize core fan base right from the start, and marketing teams will play catch up afterwards. So this is, at least in terms of anything I've seen, at least to somewhat of a solid, you know, base from specifically the people that are at least talking about this, that they're literally gonna do an intentional fake leak, you know, as a part of their strategy. That I just found that very interesting. Like, you've always, at least for me, I've always heard about it, that like, I don't know, sometimes this seems like this might be intentional to try and like entice people to, you know, talk about it more, reach the news outlets, and because it's like, oh, this shouldn't have been released, but it is, oh, we gotta talk about it, let's cover it. And then, you know, it's an ingenious tactic when you think about it, but at the same time it's like, man, that feels dirty. It feels dirty. But I mean, it's cheap. It's cheap, and it's like reliable, and it probably will spread more than general marketing in a lot of ways, at least for the, I guess, obviously the core fan base, video game enthusiast, whatnot, what have you. So interesting stuff. Obviously a lot of this didn't fall into play. I guess apparently it was supposed to be announced at E3. I'm guessing the year before it was announced, which it technically was announced late 2019 in December, I believe, at the PlayStation State of Play for that December. But yeah, I guess maybe technically it was probably planned for E3 2019. But assuming one way, shape, or form fell through. So, well, now I'm just the knife was already in there, and Capcom just twisted it and took it out and then put it right back in. So Thanks. Thank you. Thank you for that. I hate this relationship I have with him. It's like, well, I'm being vocal and critical. And it's like, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, I always want to think that like companies like care about us and, you know, us as gamers and giving us exactly what we want. But I mean, I know at the same time, it's like company going company, you know, whether it's like make something with the least amount of effort as possible, aka Grand Theft Auto trilogy. Just sometimes sometimes it's not all about us, you know, which is kind of sad. It's kind of sad when you think about it, because that's what it should be. But I digress. Moving on. before I get before this sodium, before my sodium levels increase to an unforeseeable amount. Halo Infinite. Man, I wasn't sure if we were going to get here today, where today I could talk about just how great, at least the multiplayer is, which is, at least for me personally, as somebody who's always obviously loved the multiplayer more than the single player. At least it's good to hear. But the game is not without its few issues, at least the biggest one we talked about last episode specifically, which was the XP progression system, which is, man, it is in retrospect. I mean, you know, I was smitten with I was smitten with Halo starting out. So I mean, obviously, you know, like when you in a relationship or whatever, you in that smitten phase where, you know, none of that realness is starting to sink in yet. none of the okay, this is annoying it's starting to sink in yet. But at least in this instance, that was pretty much what the multiplayer was. So yeah. So at least beforehand, you know, just to refresh that, like pretty much the battle pass system was set to, or at least geared towards, specifically doing challenges, which you may do just without thinking about it, may not. But it was basically your only way to get XP, or at least a considerable amount to reasonably level up and whatnot. So, I mean, I guess on the surface that seems like a good idea, but in the grand scheme of things, it totally is not, and it's horrible in a lot of ways. And I'm guessing maybe they did see, but maybe just didn't think too much of, because of probably the other amount of tasks and bugs maybe they had to fix before getting this out, at least early as hell before release. But yeah, so you had that along with the petty ass 50 XP you get for each match. It does not, you don't get any more or less if you win or lose. You could be like MJ in every game, you know, hitting 30 points, doing 20 assists, 6 captures, doing getting a capture while you capturing, defending your capture while you capturing, you know. Yeah, so with all that in mind, here you go, 50 XP. It's like, what? What is this? What? So, it is what it is. Well, it's not anymore. So, thankfully. So with the new XP implementations that I believe went live earlier this week, now how it works is that you'll get the first game you play for the day, you get 300 XP. Second game, you get 200. Third game, you get 200. Fourth game, fifth game, sixth game, you get 100. And the seventh game plus, you'll get 50 XP, which is totally way more acceptable. Where, you know, obviously it incentivizes you logging in each day, getting your matches in, and then, you know, being done, which is fine. It definitely obviously still needs more work and to be revamped, but I mean, it's definitely a step forward to the progression being way more, I don't know, dopamine inducing, where it's like, oh, okay, oh, level 17, all right, let's go, you know. So at least keeps that dopamine rush going, I would assume. I've yet to experience this yet, but I'm glad. I'm glad I Halo gives me a reason to play it even more now. So that's good. But yeah, definitely want to see performance based XP, or at least win lose XP, even more granulated XP in terms of, like, you know, hitting a certain number in a match, or just hitting a threshold, or surpassing a threshold in a match, or something like that. So definitely a lot more work, but hey, it'll do. It'll do. 343. It'll do for now. So hey, just a PSA, man. If you didn't know, Halo Infinite is free. All this for free. Just saying. Bing bong. Yeah. So cool. Moving on. Titanfall. Well, you know, the company behind it that's now it's kind of crazy when you think about it. It's like Titanfall really started it all, but now people mostly know Respawn from Apex Legends. But at least the game that did start it all, Titanfall 1, looks to be getting shut down from the stores. So it will be removed, unless, I guess, read the message from the people themselves. Pilots. Titanfall is part of our DNA at Respawn. It's a game that showcased the ambitions of the studio when it was first released more than 7 years ago, and it continues to be a beacon of innovation that we strive for in all our games. We've made the decision to discontinue new sales of the original Titanfall game starting today, and we'll be removing the game from subscription services on March 1st, 2022. We will, however, be keeping servers live for the dedicated fan base still playing and those who own the game and are looking to drop into a match. Rest assured, Titanfall is the core of Respawn's DNA and is incredible, and in this incredible universe, we will continue. Today, in Titanfall 2 and Apex Legends, and in the future, this franchise is a North Star for the caliber of experiences we will continue to create here at Respawn. Thank you from the entire Respawn team. So, I guess I'm a little confused as to what was the antithesis of this specifically. I'm guessing, I know a while back I heard there was a lot of hacking, and like just I think it was either Apex or Titanfall 2 or both, where they were down, or maybe all of the related servers were down because of hacking attempts or something like that. So I'm curious if this is like a response to that, where maybe it was specifically an exploit within Titanfall that was doing it, and maybe this is a way to thwart them from doing that, where you can, because I'm assuming this game is pretty cheap, account gets banned, make a new account, buy Titanfall, do it again, rinse and repeat. And at least technically this way, the fans who obviously already have the game would technically be able to still play it, and then the people who are hacking and botting or whatever will easily be able to get thwarted out of it and weed stuff out that way, I would guess. Cause yeah, I guess it's weird why they would cut off sales. I guess partially it might be a licensing thing, I heard as well, that maybe because of the very specific licensing, I think in part due to like the console exclusivity for this game, the first one, that maybe that factored in, but it doesn't seem to be any, like, at least from I looked at, any reasoning as to why this is. But I mean, it's good that the servers are still up. I mean, honestly, personally, I even after playing Titanfall 2, I think I personally still gravitated towards the first one. I mean, I recently played it a little bit, and like I literally could not stop playing for like a good 2-3 hours. So at least I'm happy that it's still live. But I guess I wish they explained more why they're doing this. But maybe it's some what is it? Blue suit, blue collar and tie, businessmen with the rings on. I don't know. I always assume is everybody's who's higher up in the gaming industry got like at least one gold ring and hair slicked back, got a cigar, and they just doling out them commands. I don't know. That was a tangent, but I don't know. Cool either way that at least the game is still up. I would definitely like to buy it before. I think they said the cutoff date for purchasing it. Yeah, they did. Will be removing the game from subscription services on March 1st, 2022. And I think this also includes discontinuing new sales of the original game starting today. So, there you go. Sad to see, but hey, Titanfall 3 comes out, squashes all this. Hopefully. I think it'll happen. It's kind of messed up, man. It is just a reminder. It's crazy. It's still crazy to me to this day. They left Titanfall to die. They left Titanfall to die. They had it. They literally had this game release alongside Battlefield 1 and its own game, Battlefield 1, around the same time frame as like some other big heavy hitter stuff came out, when it totally should have been pushed back to another date when it had some time to breathe and gain an audience from that. So that is still crazy. Their own company competing against them itself. That was grimy. Just saying. Just had to put that out there. Just how messed up that is. But it is what it is. And on that note, I believe that concludes the news for this week. With that, hydrate, I feel like I should do it. Propel. I don't know. I'm probably not the best demographic to promote. Anyway, let's get into what I've been playing, which has been Halo Infinite Um, it was my plan to play Halo Infinite and Judgment the whole break, which pretty much accomplished. Judgment took up pretty much most of most of that, but I did manage to squeeze in a good amount of Halo in before the end of it, which is great, just great. Let's just celebrate the greatness that is Halo Infinite. Just in case anybody was on the fence, Halo Infinite is back. Halo is back. It really is. I mean, I've personally, I feel like it never left. I mean, I really loved 4, really enjoyed 5, multiplayer specifically. Campaigns, whole different story, but multiplayer specifically, thoroughly enjoyed both. But Infinite is hitting just as hard. I'm just saying. I do like it is definitely taking things back to basics. Definitely doesn't feel as Call of Duty-ish as 5, even though as a Call of Duty fan I did enjoy it. But Halo is back, man. Halo is back. I mean, if not the campaign, the multiplayer is back in full effect. It was just some stuff I was researching. Like you could do the crazy stuff you can do with the grappling hook. It's great. I was looking up some crazy tech you can do with the grappling hook. If you are aiming a certain way while you're at the apex of the swing, you get more distance. You can grapple hook on the ground to, speed yourself up. You can do it, and then go into a slide, and that gives you way more, momentum. It's good. It's good. And then one of the equipment, I forgot the terminology. I think it's equipment. That is I think gonna be very, maybe with time. I think it'll be less so, but at least currently it feels like the repulsor, which is basically this dope ass equipment that lets you, I've talked about it a bit, but I don't think I've talked about some of the just dope stuff you can do in theory now that after playing a bit more. It basically can deflect rockets, grenades, getting splattered by vehicles. So like if a vehicle comes towards you, you could pop the repulsor, pushes them back. It freaking it's a freaking actual defense against melee weapons. So like if somebody trying to run at you with a hammer or energy sword, pop the repulsor, back up, son, back up. What you doing? What you doing? Fuck your life. And basically you can get the jump on them, which is pretty dope. And then it's apparently even way more dope stuff you can do. You could if you want to get fancy with it, you can throw the grenade and pop the repulsor after you throw it, and you can technically get more distance, as well as, at least for the traditional grenade, it will actually explode on impact instead of the timed explosion after it hits whatever surface, which is, it's like, what? That's great. That's great. Also, you can use it to jump, boost jump technically, where you get a lot more distance if you're trying to jump, where, and this, at least obviously to accommodate the grappling hook, and mainly the grappling hook, it's a lot more verticality in the maps now. So this definitely helps even the playing field, where to be honest, at this point, it felt like anytime I didn't have a grappling hook, I felt seriously inadequate and just naked, to be honest. But now knowing the repulsor's powers and abilities, hidden tech, man, I'm just saying. Repulsor, don't sleep on that repulsor, man. Don't sleep on it. Stay up. Stay up. Get your energy drinks. Get the caffeine, coffee. Stay up. Don't sleep on it. Don't you do it. Don't. So, pro tip. Pro tip. And I used at least specifically the boosting method, which oh, man, night and day. I have a whole new appreciation, admiration, respect for the repulsor now. It's like, that's like probably my secondary, like in terms of tier list of equipment. Grapple hook, repulsor, what's the other one? Probably camo. Oh no, overshield, camo. I don't know if those technically count because they're very situational, kind of like they're kind of similar to power weapons, but either way, actually, yeah, I'll omit those, but they would be there respectfully. But what is the boost? Yeah, I'll probably say the boost. I forgot what it's called, but basically what you could do all the time in Halo 5, they made it equipment now where you can like do a jut in a dash, whichever direction, which is, has its uses in it in particular cases, but not as much as like the repulsor. And probably, yeah, last would probably be the weight. What do they call it? The I guess radar beacon. I thought I'd just say beacon, where basically you shoot it to where you suspect the enemy is gonna be, and it'll point them out, blare them out on other people, your team's radar. So yeah, that's probably last. It's just been a lot of scenarios where I haven't really had where I've used it. It never felt really like, man, I'm glad I used this beacon. Oof. I didn't know he was going to be there, but now I confirmed he's there. Whew, I'm not as nervous now. No, that's at least in the cases I've not used it. It just never felt as helpful as I wanted it to be. So, but apparently you can like shoot the new charge pistol. It can be a conduit for electricity. So like if you pop the beacon and shoot electricity at the beacon itself, anybody who's within the area of that beacon will get electrocuted. And if you could just technically just keep shooting that and take out like people nearby, or if there's a crowd around the beacon, for some very weird situational reason, hey, that's a rare use case scenario that would benefit you, I guess. But that specifically is like, I don't know. Hopefully it gets patched, maybe adds more like functionality to it to make it more appealing for people. But yeah. There was also the Ronin, or no, I think it's called the Fractured Samurai event that happened over Thanksgiving, which yeah, I like literally the last day I'm like, yeah, let me see what this is about. And I really wanted the armor, which is probably the biggest selling point of the event. Even though it's technically free, you just have to play the game and you'll get the armor. I'm not sure if you need to buy, because it's technically a separate battle pass that's shorter because it's an event. But I don't think you need to get the battle pass to get that. You might have to, I'm not sure. But either way, at least for that event, it kind of works in the very like still kind of annoying way where what we talked about earlier in terms of the XP issues, but this event has its own event XP that apparently you can only get by completing the challenges dedicated specifically to this event. So it's, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's it still just encourages non non-traditional play, if that makes sense, where, at least from what I've heard, I've not necessarily noticed it in my case. It was it seemed more so people were rage quitting because we're losing rather than, well, I did all my objectives. Okay, I'm gonna quit out. But apparently that's the bigger issue where like people are intentionally just playing a game to meet the specific challenge requirements, and after they fulfill it, then they'll quit out the game. And then it's where you going? we got a match to win. Oh no, I already did my challenge. Bye. So at least nowadays that seems to be, at least with what we talked about earlier, that hopefully should remedy that. But specifically towards the event, I don't know. But they did have a really dope event that did happen alongside this Fractured Tannerai event, which was, I love me. If you know me, you know I love me some Fiesta. Fiesta. I don't even know how to. Fiesta. No, I love me some Fiesta. Some Fiesta. See, why does it work now? I am so. I don't get it. Either way. Love me some Fiesta. This Fiesta makes me want to stay Fiestada, which I be, hey, if you went to public school back in the day, I know you know what it means. We all apparently had the same, system, I would assume. Hopefully, I don't know, but Fiesta always remind me of Fiestada, but I digress. For those that don't know what Fiesta is, it's basically a mode that randomizes your loadout every match. Technically, this Halo at least doesn't have loadouts, but like you have two, a primary and secondary weapon. Fiesta basically randomizes your primary and secondary weapon each spawn. So, basically luck of the draw, but it also does encourage you to get comfortable and use weapons you normally wouldn't use. And, there's also the dynamic of trying to steal weapons from other people that have a weapon you want after you kill them, and then, hoarding that, and a lot of fun dynamics that kind of help mix the game and mix the gameplay a bit, and also, just get you to learn weapons you generally maybe haven't really messed with because of preference or whatever. So love me some Fiesta. It's so fun. So I wonder if it's still up. It probably ended with the event. The event ended on the 29th, I believe. So, but got me the I forgot what they call it. The Yoi armor is basically literally just samurai armor, but make it Halo, essentially. So have to admit as well, Halo Infinite is probably the first game that's like, I guess Fortnite technically. I did budge for the John Wick skin that I'll probably never play with again. It's probably gonna happen. If there's a Matrix event, a Matrix 4 event, I'm pretty certain it's probably gonna. It'll probably happen. There's a Matrix event. They got Neo. If he looking kind of dope, and he not looking all like derpy, I guess. I might, but I don't even play it. I don't even play Fortnite, man. It was a lot more worthwhile characters I could have got, but I digress. The second game, free-to-play game that's gotten me to, I can't even say that, Let It Die. I did budge a couple times. I did. But third game, third free-to-play game, yeah, probably Halo Infinite. I've been budging. There was a dope little katana set that, hey man, if you want this Yoi armor to really be set off, hey, if you just get this katana, I mean, you won't probably be able to use it at all, but I mean, it looks cool, right? Like, yeah, you're right. Let me $20. Oh, fuck, damn. But I mean, the game is. I understand the free to play, motto where it's like, damn, it's like, man, this game is really good. I'm really enjoying myself. I'm putting a lot of time into it. You know what? I don't feel so bad about throwing a little money for a cosmetic here and there. So, yeah, Halo's good. I recommend it. Really do. If you into shooters, if you definitely were a previous fan of Halo back in the day, I guess before it quote unquote fell off. I don't know I don't know anybody who, there's probably a fair amount of people that felt Halo fell off. Like maybe around, obviously, when it went with 343, starting with 4 through now. So, hey, you know what? Do you? But hey, I mean, Halo Infinite is great. There was apparently you could collateral through like, damn near 40 people. I forgot the exact number, but there was some viral video that went around where somebody was just testing the what would you call it? Collaterality? I don't know. I'm gonna make it up though. The collaterality of Halo's mechanics, where shot a sniper rifle, shot through the person, and it collateral through like the damn near 40 people. Collateral, for those that don't know, I think it's a term that really started with Call of Duty, I believe, where basically if you shoot a weapon, generally a sniper, it could potentially be more other weapons, but at least it started with the sniper, where you can, when you shoot one person and somebody's behind them, it actually goes through both of them clean, and that is considered a collateral. So apparently you can get a 40-person collateral. That's kind of crazy. That's literally would never happen without any specific intention, but it's possible. Get that team wipe collateral. Best believe I'm posting that. That's very specific, but cool either way. Hey, Halo's back. Halo's back. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Moving on. Lost Judgment. Man. Whew. Let me tell you. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you. So, started the game at like 20 hours. Like, I played it for a bit and put it down to play some shorter games. Then finally got back to it, and that was my plan for at least this Thanksgiving break, was to put some serious time into a Lost Judgment. Boy, did I do that. I did just that. So, yeah, probably throughout the course of this break, maybe like a clean 50, 55. Damn, dare I say 60? Yeah, maybe 60. 60 hours into a Lost Judgment, and it was great. I guess for some people that don't know, and what I do recommend if you do play these games is that I think you miss out on a lot if you play pretty much majority of the Ryu Ga Gotoku saga of games. Really, you miss out on a lot of really great content, and that definitely is also the case with Lost Judgment, I have to say. Like I mentioned earlier, there's this whole extensive school stories sub storyline that has a lot of great moments, a lot of great side quests and content, and it's pretty good. It's very good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Probably not as interesting and captivating, at least for me, as the cabaret, plots from Zero and Kiwami 2, but pretty close, have to say. If there's one thing Ryuga Gotoku Studios gonna do, it is make some captivating ass sub story, side story content. Put they foot in it, I'm gonna tell you. So yeah, so with the side story, there's a lot of side stuff with those, which I've talked about it before. I'm not gonna repeat myself, but just especially the end. So for the school stories, pretty much everything kind of comes full circle towards the end, where the end goal is to find this suspicious professor who you do find out towards the end. And yeah, just the payoff of like, hey man, yeah, I was racing against you guys, and finally won you guys' hearts. Oh man, you guys are helping me in my time of need. Appreciate that, man. Stuff like that. That is just it's like, yeah, fulfillment at its prime. So for those that don't know, that towards the pretty much tradition really for all Ryuga Gotoku games is pretty much if you complete all the side sub stories, there's generally one left, and that is generally with literally the hardest boss in the game, which is Amon. Amon, who's a very tough ass boss. And especially with each new iteration, they always find out a way to like, let's make him more difficult. Let's make him more insanely, annoyingly difficult. And they do. And this one definitely has its challenge in his own way. It even got me to the point where like, I'm damn. Now I need to spend more time playing the game to try to get my skills up to even stand a chance against this dude. So that's ultimately what I did. I did not win my fight against him, but I will. Best believe I will. I will work harder. I will get stronger, and I will beat him. So oh man, I'm not gonna spoil any details, but it's very funny turn of events during that at least the start of the battle. Very Street Fighter, very Akuma-esque, I'll say that. Akuma-esque. Yeah. It was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. All right, well, okay. So that is always my let's reward you for spending like 80 hours doing all these side stories with the hardest boss in the game. Good luck. Which is pretty much what it is. That probably says something about me, but it's just fun, the spectacle of somebody who's insanely tough and actually overcoming that challenge, and in turn the final sub story of the game technically. So I'm probably, for the first time, gonna actually complete the main story and then come back and fight Joe Amon. That way, which technically always makes sense. I don't know. I just like to, personally, I've always liked to do all the side stuff first and get out the way and then finish the game. But I think I'm just gonna actually try beating the story. I think just because I need the XP to get like skills to actually fight against him and do it that way. But all in all, at least so far, have not beat the game yet. I'm almost there, but really good. It, depending on how it ends, is more than likely probably going to be my game of the year personally. which, you know, we'll cover that towards the end of the year. Well, I say that like that's not that close, but it is. So probably a couple weeks from now, we'll cover that. So close to finding judgment. Almost found judgment. Almost. So I'm just it's good. I guess that's probably I don't know. I can't even explain it. It's just Yakuza games are an experience. I guess that's really the only way I can describe it. It's hard to convey Yakuza games to somebody that's not aware of them, I guess. I don't, if that makes sense, where it's like, it's hard to convey the joy of playing these games to somebody that's not really in the know, I guess. It's like, I don't know, if you don't like it, you don't like it. I guess that's really it, really. But then again, there's the new traditional RPG Yakuza games, which, you know, I think for a lot of people that like are put off by like real time beat 'em ups, so to speak, may enjoy Yakuza in that way. So, but I love me some good counters, and just recently I discovered them when I could have discovered them a while ago. But hey, I'm having fun now. Well, I mean, I've been having fun, having even more fun now. So, with that being said, that concludes what I've been playing for this week. Touch into what I've been watching, which has been a little bit, not too much, but a little bit. Watched Hawkeye, which premiered on around Thanksgiving. Watched the 2 episodes. I haven't watched the third episode that premiered this week yet, but at least over the break, they dropped the 2 episodes. I think technically this is gonna lead it right into No Way Home, which oh yeah, that's an interesting story. Man, them tickets, boy, it's literally like trying to reserve the consoles all over again, where people were trying to get the day one tickets, and bruh, people are like, I mean, people have no shame, but people are literally scalping these tickets on eBay for like $4,000+ dollars. I'm like, man, I'm waiting. I am not succumbing to. I'm gonna have a hell of a lot of FOMO, but I'm not succumbing to no $4,000 just to watch. You crazy? But literally buy what? Damn near. My math ain't. That's like freaking, 40 Blu-ray DVDs of Spider-Man No Way Home when it comes out. You could probably buy the whole Marvel Spider-Man, Legacy, multiple times that I can't quantify because I can't do the math. It's too much. Just saying. Anyway, Hawkeye. It's pretty interesting. For those that don't know, at least a brief synopsis. It basically brings in Kate Bishop, who, to my understanding, at least somebody who's not read the comics, is the successor to Hawkeye. And they apparently retcon her into the original Avengers movie, where apparently there was a scene with Hawkeye where, he shoots one of the Chitauri, and then they go into this one building, and it's like, oh, you see, that whole time Kate Bishop was in that building. You didn't know that? You dumbass. What? You didn't, how how do you even see that, idiot? But nah, it's like they pretty much. I don't know why I always find that funny where they retcon retcon people into existing scenes where it's like, you should have saw that. Why did you see that? I'm just thinking of somebody just getting irritated at blaming somebody for not noticing it, just literally playing with them with it. But yeah, so Kate Bishop retconned into her backstory as being, seeing Clint in terms of, he's shooting them arrows real good. Then he does the, oh crap, I've got no options. I'm gonna jump off the building. I'm gonna shoot an arrow. Hopefully it'll grab me. And so that was cool. It was interesting. And then they kind of bring her back to modern day, and then of course it's around Christmas time, and it's always the hero, I can finally rest. And then of course something always gotta pop off, and then additional events occur where they eventually meet each other, and yeah, pretty much goes from there. Not to spoil too much into the story, but yeah, I thought it was good. It was decent. I really liked the second episode. Let's talk briefly about it. I guess minor spoilers for the second episode of Hawkeye, but basically it is they're trying to find the Ronin suit from Endgame, where the identity that Clint had, where I guess he turned it in somehow to the Avengers, I don't know what you call it, collective or whatever, and they somehow got around along with the sword, and basically somebody picked it up, and Clint was trying to find it, and he I guess he just randomly looked on TikTok and some black dude that's like, hey, I mean, in this day and age you love to see it though being modernized, but it was like some black dude nerd who's like, hey, if you try to come in my face, and then he did like a quick cut, and then he morphed into the Ronin gear. I'm gonna cut your head off real quick. Don't mess with me, man. Don't mess with me. Something like that. I'm very much paraphrasing, but then that led to this whole it was really good. Really this LARPing scene, and I believe LARP stands for live action role playing, where you have the foam swords, and you have the costume, this is ignorant, the Skyrim get up, and you gotta drink a potion. If you get your arm hit, you don't have an arm no more. Kind of literally what we did as kids, but now adults. At least that's my interpretation of it, as somebody who's not necessarily been in the whole LARPing scene at all. That's at least my interpretation of it. But basically that's literally what this was. They like, let's make it if LARPing was like a straight up scene where they they got really dramatic with it, taking people out like a straight up action scene with the slow motion and stuff. It was pretty funny. And then it came to a point where like Clint was like, hey man, I'll give you the please give me the suit, I'll fuck you up. And then what's his name, I think his name was Grills, he's like, hey man, dude, I mean, I'll give it to you, but can you let me kill you? Can you just let me kill you? It's like Clint was like, I fucking fought Thanos. What? So it was cool. They there's a lot of highlights specifically for that, which I really enjoyed. So really digging Hawkeye. A lot of interesting rumors of some characters that might, who knows, towards the end might lead to some spicy stuff. But I'm enjoying it. I'm definitely gonna keep watching it. So hey, who knew Clint the Arrow Man can shoot them arrows and, have his own series that is entertaining, I mean, come on now. Also watched a little bit of the Cowboy Bebop live action. I've only watched the first 2 episodes, so I hear it gets worse after that, but at least from what I've seen, it's not bad. Not really bad. I know it gets worse, but at least from the 2 episodes, I mean, at least maybe it's probably my expectations going into it. Like, yeah, this is going to be pretty bad. And then I'm thinking it's going to be real bad. But then, after seeing it, wasn't necessarily that bad. But I don't know. But again, I think I still have those expectations for the later episode, which I don't know. At this point, I'm probably going to have to knock it down on my priority list. But it, as somebody who hasn't watched the anime for a long ass time, this is probably like, man, I was probably like maybe 12 when I probably shouldn't have been watching it, actually. The late night, this was like, I think around the dawn of Adult Swim, where it was a part of their block. But yeah, that's at least what I remember, and I know it's a lot that's been lost. So at least my plan is probably to watch the live action, just so I'm like, man, this sucks, and then actually rewatch the actual anime of Cowboy Bebop instead. Well, not instead, but shortly after, and just to get a perspective to see, like, man, yeah. In comparison, this is probably bad, but yeah. So it's fine. Some of the character choices are a little sus. I guess specifically, who's the freaking what's his name? This is gonna be ignorant as hell, but who's the damn what is his name? The wannabe Henry Cavill looking. I mean, Henry Cavill, if he was bullied in school, yeah, Henry Cavill, that's just mean. It felt like they gave him that role, but he didn't really, I don't know, he doesn't fit the role. I assume, I mean, no offense, but I mean, I assume I really need to watch the anime to get a reference, but at least from what I saw, I'm like, I don't think this is probably the best choice for casting this guy. I forgot his name. He's basically the evil head of Fearless, or I guess that's his nickname, but Spike, who took his girl, apparently, from what I saw. So, yeah, he looks like somebody who would be the accomplice to the head of that organization, rather than, being the head boss or sub boss, at least according to those 2 episodes. But yeah, without being mean, yeah, does that make sense? I don't know. I hope you get what I mean. Like, he looks like he's a more devious accomplice to somebody who's higher than him, rather than like him trying to be the lead. Hopefully that makes sense, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm not too then I heard about the black mailman. Oh man. No. So part of me just doesn't, I mean, I'm very like, I don't know, indifferent. I'm very indifferent about it in general. So that probably says something. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. With all that being said, I think that will conclude episode 132 of Switches Sites. Damn it, every time. If you did like and enjoy the podcast, feel free to like, rate, and subscribe on your various podcasting and video platforms. You can catch me record this live on Twitch TV/aswitch Thursday evenings. You can also catch the archive of this podcast on youtube.com/aswitch as well. Yeah. Until next time, y'all. Get your game on. Feel free to fuck. Aw, yeah. Nobody's safe.